Yeah, we've never had success achieving lasting peace in the Middle East. Now, I'm not saying Kyrie Irving has the answer, but shouldn't we at least let the man try? Welcome back to oddmansports on the game day. I'm your host, Brandon Perna. I'm also the host of That's Good Sports. I'm also the host of the SBs, which are a lot like ESPN's award show, but for SB Nation. On this week's episode, I will ask some hard questions of the Yankees. I will make some cheap jokes about Marv Albert. You know where we're going with that. And I will provide an outside-the-box solution to the Aaron Rodgers saga that just might satisfy everyone. Time for Dinks and Dunks. Well, the last week of the NBA regular season is finally here, and that means one thing: tanking. And while resting stars and playing scrubs in order to lose is an accepted NBA practice, the Clippers took this to a whole nother level. Check out the box score from last Friday's loss to the lowly Rockets. No Kawhi, no Paul George, and starting at guard, rookie Jay Scrub. They played a literal scrub for 40 minutes. Hey, Ty Lue, was Rodney can't shoot for shit not available? What about Jamichael Trips a lot? Brick Barry? Todd Rimjob? That might be a different sport. Turning to baseball, a heartwarming story as Drew Robinson, who lost his right eye in a suicide attempt last year, accomplished what most call the hardest thing in sports: hitting a home run for the AAA Sacramento River Cats. My reaction to this story was probably the same as yours. Is hitting a home run the hardest thing to do in sports? I mean, I used to think so. Now I'm not so sure. The hardest thing in sports used to be running a sub 4-minute mile. But if a guy with one leg all of a sudden ran a 3.58, I'd start to wonder. Another baseball thing I'm wondering about: how come only like 8,000 out of 87 million vaccinated Americans have gotten COVID? And why do they all seem to play for the Yankees? Who did they get to administer the needle? Dr. Giambi? Well, since it affects the respiratory system, it was probably a Chargers team doctor stabbing them in the back. The Yankees had 8 vaccinated people test positive last week, which is really too bad because one more, and they could have had enough to field the baseball team. Considering the infinitesimal odds, I'd say this is the most perplexing medical story involving the Yankees since the decision to do the Ice Bucket Challenge during Lou Gehrig's farewell speech. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Let's go. In NBA news, Knicks announcer Mike Breen had a fun slip of the tongue while talking about Celtics center Taco Fall. Take a listen.
Noel keeps it alive, but right to Taco Bell. Here comes Parker. Did I just say Taco Bell? Oh my God.
Okay, that's an honest mistake, because neither is any good at stopping the runs. Meanwhile, longtime voice of the Knicks and current TNT announcer Marv Albert, who once referred to Bernard King as Burger King, said he'll be retiring at the end of the season. Marv's departure creates a void at the top of the sport, most likely to be filled by Doris Burke, as an announcer most likely to be calling a game while wearing women's underwear. Though my money's still on Van Gundy. I know you're a filthy little devil, Van Gundy. I know it. Albert, as you may remember, was involved in a tabloid 1997 sex scandal in which he was accused of wearing a garter belt and biting a woman, causing her to rip off his hairpiece. Now, a story like this absolutely could not happen today. Mostly because Marv reportedly lured the woman to his hotel room saying he needed help sending a fax. And finally, my second choice to be the next Broncos quarterback, Gardner Minshew, turned 25 this week. So happy birthday to the Jaguars quarterback who last season threw twice as many touchdowns and half as many picks as Cam Newton. While also making me question things about myself I thought were long settled. Let's move along before I say something I'll regret. Like, why do I want to be inside Gardner? Oh, too late. Money talks! As you probably have heard, Floyd Mayweather is officially scheduled to fight YouTuber Logan Paul for $100 million. And to help promote the fight, they decided to give a couple high-profile sports YouTubers, including me, the chance to interview Floyd Mayweather. Okay, Floyd Moneyweather, you're the most accomplished boxer in history, so why fight Logan Paul, who has lost all of his one boxing matches?
Name another boxer besides myself that's more famous than Logan Paul.
Personally speaking, Floyd, I think you should fight Brandon Perna.
What? So let's look up. So what you need to do right now, look up how many followers he got on social media and look up how many followers Logan Paul has on social media.
I guess last time I checked, Paul has 50 million and I have around 40,000 followers on Twitter.
Hold on. So 50 something compared to 4 something.
I said 40, but I also have 18,000 on Instagram.
There's no comparison.
Sadly, Floyd's right. So with no 9-figure boxing payday in my immediate future, like most YouTubers, I have to try to figure out how to better monetize this crazy platform. Hey YouTube, are you rewarding content over 15 minutes now? Or are we rewarding high retention rates? Can somebody please just answer me? Just tell me how this shit works. And while I'm spending hours and hours combing through Reddit threads trying to find the answers myself, rich pro athletes are using YouTube as their digital sandbox, cranking out C- content immune to the whims of the algorithm. My favorite example? Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer, who created this underwhelming roundtable dinner series called Bauer Bites.
They're calling it the coronavirus, and I just thought, do you think like Corona has, like the beer has to be, they have to hate that?
Do they hate it or do they love it?
Sorry, Trevor. If I'm gonna watch people eating on YouTube, I'm sure as hell not going to watch Charlie Blackmon poke at a salad and get most of it stuck in his beard. I can do that myself. I'd rather watch the actual hardest thing in sports. This lady eating Alaskan king crab with her feet.
Oh, wow.
Odd man out. The saga in Green Bay continues as Aaron Rodgers maintains he wants out, while head coach Matt LaFleur says the team, quote, wants him back in the worst way. And yet the Packers appear to be planning for a QB room without Rodgers. This week, Green Bay signed Blake Bortles and then Kurt Benkert, forcing Packers Nation to collectively answer in the form of a question. Who is Kurt Benkert? Speaking of game shows, the Bucs GM recently had this to say on Rich Eisen's fake new game show.
I'm going to ask you the $64 million question here. Did he give you any indication at all how long
None.
he wants to play?
Yeah, I told him if he wants to play till he's 50 and he's still playing and he feels like he can still play, he can play until he's 50.
If Brady can play till he's 50. I don't see why Aaron Rodgers, who's just 37, couldn't have 5 more good years. But reading the tea leaves, which are the hardest leaves to read, by the way, my guess is those years will be spent with the new team. At this point, I think there's a better chance of seeing Aaron Rodgers waking up next to his good buddy Jodie Foster than getting back into bed with the Packers. And while ex-teammates seem split on the Rodgers question, it's this anecdote from an ex-girlfriend that I believe provides the most insight into Rodgers' my way or the highway mentality that will cause him to break with the pack.
I find a lot of comfort in a woman cave, and I'm a little frustrated because I don't have a woman cave right now.
You need to get one.
I asked to transition a bedroom into a woman cave in Green Bay. I have my incense and my, essential oils and my, like lava, like salt rock lamp and my yoga mat and my meditation pillow. And I've got it all in a room, but there's no windows. And it's just like,
oh, you can't have that.
I need a little bit. I need a little bit. And so I got shut down.
You were shut down.
I got shut down.
That's not going to last long.
In Aaron Rodgers' defense, 1, salt rock lamps are total bullshit. Trust me. And 2, they needed to keep those extra bedrooms open in case Aaron started talking to any members of his family again. Just kidding, that's not happening. Here's the reality. If this is his approach towards someone he's having sex with, imagine how uncompromising he's going to be with Packers GM Brian Gutekunst, who I'm 99% sure he's not having sex with. I hate to break it to you, cheeseheads, but it's time to start preparing for a post-Rodgers reality. And it won't be easy. Going from Aaron Rodgers to Blake Bortles is like Jeopardy going from Alex Trebek to, well, Aaron Rodgers. On the bright side, I see 2 potential outcomes that might satisfy the Green Bay faithful. Option A, the Packers trade Aaron Rodgers straight up for fellow disgruntled quarterback Russell Wilson in the biggest blockbuster trade in NFL history. Or we have option B. Hey Siri, how old is Brett Favre?
Brett Favre is 51 years old.
51? That could work. All right, that's it for this week. Tune in next week as we discuss the surprising craze taking over women's sports. Chest bumping. Oh, that video's going to slap.